kafira who's not Muslim and she is walking around without hijab, don't go and talk to her about hijab. Because she's not even a Muslimah. She's a kafira. Why are you going to talk to her about hijab? As we see from the hadith that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent Abu Musa al-Ashari and Mu'adh bin Jabal to Yemen, as Imam Abu Dawud has recorded in his Kitab al-Adab, he told them to make things easy for the people and not difficult to them, and to give glad tidings and don't cause people to flee away. Here, there is a lot of hikmah in this hadith. I don't want to take too much time, but if we look at the method of da'wah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Today, people say we're going for da'wah. And we're going 3 days and 10 days and 40 days and this days and that days, and we're going to sit around and drink tea in sleeping bags and we're doing da'wah. Well, who's going to go to the kuffar? How did the Prophet ﷺ do the da'wah? We have to look at that. If you want to look at the etiquettes of da'wah, then you have to look at the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So here we see the Prophet ﷺ, the instructions he gave to his du'at to make things easy for people. Try to talk to somebody and make them understand that many of the things they may already believe are beliefs of Islam. Bring them closer in that way. And then don't approach people in a way that will make them flee. Within the halal though. So here, when we look at the advice of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we find the same thing. Next, adl, or the right moderation that you should have in da'wah. Meaning, some people, they're like a rocket. It goes up, but then it comes down. For a week, mashallah, they are giving da'wah day and night, and they're at every event and this and that, and then you don't see them for years. You don't want to be from those. You want to have istiqamah. Be steadfast in your da'wah. Da'wah doesn't happen overnight. Nuh alayhi salatu salam, how long did he give da'wah? 950 years. 950 years. And the closest narration to how many people that became Muslim, from the biggest number that we have, is about 80. 80 people in 950 years. Look at the patience of the Anbiya. So we have to be patient in our da'wah. Even if only one person is guided through you in your entire life of da'wah, you are successful. It is enough for you. So be patient in your da'wah. The next advice under the bab of adl and moderation is not to go to extremes either. We see two fitan. One is the fitna of the khawarij and takfir, and one is the fitna of the murji' and irja'. And the Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah are in the middle of that. They stay in the middle path. One is extreme, where people make takfir on people. People who, in their da'wah, they start calling everybody kuffar, and even they call Muslims kuffar, and they start to go to an extreme. And this is wrong, and this is forbidden in Islam. And the other extreme is the murji' and their irja', where they try to bring everybody within the fold of Islam. And they make everybody the same. And this is also wrong. If somebody makes kufr, they make kufr. If somebody has not done something to make kufr, maybe they did some sins to make them fasiq, we don't call them kuffar. For the du'at here, if somebody asks you, what do you say about this person, that person, it's not your response. Tell them, I don't need to say anything about it. You want to ask somebody, go ask an alim. We don't need to make takfir on anybody. At the same time, be careful. Because if you start saying, no, speaker still working? I think it's dead. So if we start saying, no, everybody is together, we're all the same, and somebody who's cursing Abu Bakr and Umar and Uthman and Ali and Aisha, we are the same as them. No, we're not the same as them. And if you start saying this, you are misrepresenting the religion of Allah. And that's something we don't have the right to do. If somebody is Baha'i or this or that, they are kuffar. They are outside the fold of Islam. So we are not one with them, and we don't have to pretend to be one with them. At the same time, if we have difference in madahib or fiqh and these things, that we are still Muslims who are part of the same ummah, we are one. So you have to get that middle path of not becoming from those who do irja' and not from those who do takfir. And inshallah in the Aqidah Durus we'll go over this more in detail. It's just a muqaddimah inshallah here. Next, to take small steps in da'wah. Da'wah has to be done gradually. Address the most important things first. If you see a kafira who is not Muslim and she is walking around without hijab, don't go and talk to her about hijab. Because she's not even a Muslimah. She's a kafira. Why are you going to talk to her about hijab? If you see a kafir smoking, don't talk to him about smoking. Talk to him about tawheed first. And that's a advice for you also in da'wah. When somebody comes to you and tells you, what about the hijab? What about the beard? What about this? What about that? Don't fall for the trick of going into these side arguments. You have to tell them, okay, if you want to have a discussion, let's first begin with what I believe and why I believe it. I believe in the Quran. I believe that these were the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I believe in the miracles that have been proven in the Quran. I believe the miraculous nature of what was revealed to the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. These were the words of Allah that the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam could not have come up with. Bring that da'wah first. Because if you get into hijab and there is haya in it and this and the community and this and the beard and it keeps you warm and it saves you from colds, this argument is not going to last. Trust me, I've seen a lot of these things. So always take it back to the basics first. Why we do what we do. Because in the end, why do we make salah? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordained it. If you want to get into the prostration, how it's good for your back and things, what if they bring some, a doctor that says it's not good for you? Now what are you going to do? If you get into the scientific benefits of trimming the mustache, what if they get some doctor that says there's no benefit? Now what are you going to do? You have to take it back to we believe in the Quran. We believe this is the words of Allah, and that's why we believe in these things. So when you have these things, always bring them back. And this is from the hadith that, again, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he gave the nasiha to Mu'adh bin Jabal radiyallahu anhu, he told them that you are going to a people of the kitab, and the people of the book. So the first thing you should give them da'wah towards is to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. This is the first thing we should give da'wah towards. Not towards, salah or siyam or hijab. This is the first thing. And if they believe in that, then you go towards salah. Then you go towards siyam. Then you go towards zakah and hajj and in that order. But you have to establish their aqeedah and believing in the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first. So when they want to argue with you, why do you make women do this or why do your men do this? Always take it back. Okay, let's discuss it. I don't mind discussing it. But let's first discuss why I do what I do. Why I believe what I believe. Do you believe there's a purpose in life? Do you believe that we came out of nowhere? What religion do you believe in? Do you believe in Allah? Do you believe in God? Do you believe? Why? When you go through that, then when it comes to the bab of those furu', those side issues, then you can say, because me and you have agreed that this is the book of Allah, then Allah knows better. Allah knows better how much the man's awrah should be and how much a woman's awrah should be and how, what dress is better for what. Allah knows better because we have come to this agreement now that this is the book of Allah. And until you come to that, don't get into these side arguments. And we see that Aisha radhiyallahu anha, she said in the Sahih Hadith that is reported by Al-Bukhari in the Bab Fadail of Quran, she told us that if the first ayat that were revealed to us were not to drink khamr, alcohol, the Arab would have replied that we'll never give up drinking alcohol. And if the first ayat were revealed not to fornicate, then the Arab would have replied, we can never give up zina. But the first ayat that were revealed were about Jannah and Jahannam and to build the people's iman. So when the ayat were revealed, the Sahaba, the Arab, they left them. They left alcohol, they left zina without problem because their iman had been built.